Hey, wild ones, welcome to another adventure. We're here at Morgan Monroe State Forest. We're here at that new monument structure, whatever it is. We're going to look at this thing closer. We're on the shores of the old Bean Blossom Lake to do a little more research on what happened to this dam that caused this lake to fail. We're going to do a little more adventure, so stick around. We're going to finish this series out with our last dam video. I wonder if this thing has a chimney in it because it kind of reminds me of a like a outdoor chimney, outdoor fireplace like they would have in the shelter houses. It kind of just resembles it might have even been a double-sided one. I don't know, with the vent tubes they seem to have in here. They've done things a lot better and cooler back then, probably. And just huge stones all down through here. I think it was probably pretty tall. And over there is a remnants of an old picnic table, all stone. And if I remember right, there's another one down there, I'm thinking. We're going to mosey down in there and do a little exploring, see if there's any other artifacts. And it's been a foggy, rainy night. These stones are slick. I'm like better off on the side in the grass, the leaves. I could have swore there was another picnic table down here or down here. So there you've seen where we actually are on the map. We're in the lake bed pretty much. We come down off that shelter area there, and we're right on the shores of the old lake. So that was definitely part of the recreational area for the lake. And right here behind us, we're right back in the lake bottom right here. And our video, my forest hobby video, we're just up that way a little bit in the hammock. So in all reality, this is kind of like a big shortcut. This dumps us halfway in the lake and cuts a big portion of tracking that we did. Now I'm glad we've done it because we learned, a lot of the land, but we got a trail that leads right down here in the lake bottom. Very simple to get down in here. Now we can do some exploring around here, and like I said, we were just up that way and spent a day. So let me get you some of that information that I ran across. So the lake was built in 1932-33, right there in that area. It lasted until 1993. The spillway that we showed in our last video there, My Forest Hobby, we showed I'll show a picture of it here. And that we visited on our My Forest Hobby video, and actually a couple of last year we went in that area. They say in 1993, the spillway there, that tube we looked down on that video by Forest Hobby, clogged up with debris, not allowing excess pressure to bleed off from the lake. It overflowed the dam and eroded it and took it out. We walked around and actually found an old boat cranking battery, stuck in the muck from 30 years ago. Well, folks, we're going to see if this 6-hour can that we introduced to y'all last weekend is going to boil water. Oh, man, I had to hold tight. So we can get that boiling, and I'll go ahead and add some coffee to it, and we'll make some coffee. We'll just see how that does. But as far as getting down to the bottom of Bean Blossom Lake and Bean Blossom Dam, I think we've done that finally. So I think we're done with this series. Done with this area for a little while and talking about it. Hey, we seen a little history there, a little thread, and we pulled on it until we got to the bottom of it. So, and we ended up with some good information. So when you can learn the history of the land, it's always a good thing. There's a little steam coming off of it. I don't know, man. I don't know if it's going to get to a boil. I mean, it's not meant to. It's meant to keep it good and hot, and that's what it's doing. I know my spirit burner, my other little bronze burner, you would say, that thing is great for to have with you in a situation that you're out in the woods because it's unpredictable, or while you're out there is an unpredictable situation, because that thing will burn almost any fuel. I mean, it's not going to burn gasoline, of course. You blow yourself up, and but a lot of fuels, and I'm not going to tell you any of them. You can investigate that yourself. I don't give you any bad information on that. But there's just so many fuels you can burn in those to get you through whatever you could scavenge around to get alcohol, the gas line heat. I've heard like mineral spirits. There's just a list of them. So they're very versatile, and it will get this thing boiling pretty quick. They're really close to the pot, and that heat really ramps up. And I think that new burner is what's going to be the ticket for this little canister, because I think it has every bit the heat that the little spirit burner has. I just think it's too far away from the kettle to get a good boil. I mean, it might boil it in an hour, but who wants to wait that long? We don't want to boil tea anyway, really. We want to bring it up close to a boil, but the spirit burner definitely would have had this thing percolating already. So I think we'll get that other little stove in for this to insert into and try it out. Meanwhile, I think our tea is done. So I think we're going to extinguish this flame. We're just going to be real careful and pull this thing out a little bit and then just sit our lid on it. Am I going to be able to handle this without my gloves? I think so. I don't think we got that hot. Oh, yeah. Good old Lipton tea smells good. Man, we put just the right amount in it. Look at that. Fold our handles out here. That's good. That's real good. It's definitely not too hot where you can't drink it, but definitely good and hot. So I think that thing works perfect for tea. Get that thing tight, but not too tight. I'm going to grill that thing on and never get it off again. It's lukewarm. It can go right back in the pack. This thing ain't even hot. That's what's so great about the material they use on this burner. It doesn't stay hot very long. Look at that. I find sitting on this log a lot easier than sitting on that ground over there. This old man's getting older. But anyway, beautiful wife's in the big city today. It's about an hour away, along with Luke visiting family. So I figured it's a great time to come out here and enjoy the wilderness. If they were there, I'd probably stuck around and find something to do with them because we came out here last week. But they're going into town. Why sit around on the couch, right? We'll come out here and enjoy this stream. How could it get any better? You know, I asked myself one day why I do these videos, why I started them, why I keep doing them. And I kept asking myself that question for like weeks on end. And I kept asking myself because I kept coming up with more and more answers. It's like when I ask myself that, the answers just start flooding in, and so I'm like, well, in my head, let me dig through and find out what the most important one was. And I couldn't find one reason that stuck out. So I thought about one by one, just going through, and as time goes on, start answering those questions. I guess the first one was, I guess the very first one that come to mind when I started out here was, freedom. Just and then being in search of freedom to go where I want, do what I want, when I want, and just the solitude that comes with that. So I guess that's the first one. I think as we go on this year, we'll go through them one by one, and together I can figure out why I'm doing it, why I'm out here, why I'm enjoying it. So we'll explore that together as the year goes on. And we found a little little den here going up this steep hill. I looked over and seen some boulders. It goes in a little bit. I mean, from what I can tell, not very far, maybe just some sort of animal den. There's another hole right down here. That's the kind of stuff that can lead to caves. And I bet you there's another hole. This is some steep terrain. And I don't want to go sliding all the way down the bottom, all this moss. But what I do have in the plans is getting a climbing rope. I don't have anything for actual climbing. I'm not going to trust it to anything, to ski rope or something. And I got one coming so we can anchor off to a tree here and lower ourselves down into spots like this and be a little safer about it. So it's definitely something coming. I'm kind of sketchy just getting this close. I get on these wet leaves. I'm sitting on moss here. These wet leaves are just going to have me sliding down this hill right through a briar brush. I just know it. So, man, I'm really interested to see what's in there. But this is the kind of things that we look for little cave entrances. This is all it needs to be. That's a lot of times how they start out. It can be dangerous too because it can lead to a 200-foot pit. I mean, there's plenty of channels out there that show stuff like that. Dangerous. So we're going to get a rope so that we can explore something like this a little closer and be a little safer. We're on top of them boulders. You might be able to tell from the camera angle. It's pretty much straight down. So we're going to need a rope into that. There's another outcropping right under there, but it's straight up and down. You know, they say, I've seen in videos, the animals are the first ones to use the little caves. There's a definite trail going right down to this outcropping here. I can't get up under it to look up in it. It's just too steep. Wet leaves, definitely need a rope. So we're going to get one with legit stuff. But I've seen in other videos, the animals, I use them. So we're going to go in there and check that out when we get the right equipment. I'm just heading back on top of the ridge here, head on back. And I looked up, some strange dudes at the top looking at me, staring down, looking at them outcroppings. There was a truck in the parking lot. I didn't know where the dude was. He's just out here wandering around. I mean, like someone done shot his best dog. Kind of creepy. Kind of creepy if you ask me. And he's just standing out there. I don't want to walk by him and turn my back to him. This dude's just creepy. I figured that truck would be gone by the time I got back out of the woods. That's got to be his truck. He's just wandering around and stopping. Wandering and stopping. I mean, he's not making any ground away from me. He knows I have to go between here and my car. He's right in between me and my car. And he keeps stopping. I don't want to walk by the dude and turn my back to him. So until he runs perpendicular to the way I got to go, I'm just going to stay back here and sit on this old picnic table and watch this dude. I'm not going to give him the angle on me. Especially as weird as he is. I mean, it's because he's weird. He's just doing weird shit. You gotta have, she's looking back here, wondering why I ain't left. You gotta have situational awareness. And when you're out here in the woods, just you and somebody else, no witnesses, you can't la 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 around out here like it's freaking Winn Dixieland. I run across some weird shit, some weird people out here in these woods. Dad can attest to that. He was with me. So he done put a tree between me and him. He stopped again. Weird. Weird. I seen smoke coming out of the shelter house, so I bet he's built a fire in there. I wonder if he's living in there. Well, we're going to give it a minute. And we may just have to walk by him. And if he's going to stand between me and the vehicle, I'm going to make some sort of audible engagement with him. Hey, how you doing? Something like that. To get a feel for this guy that I'm about to turn my back to, which I don't want to do. I just don't want to do it. Especially as weird as he's acting. He was just a normal dude doing normal shit with his dog or whatever, acting normal. Wouldn't be no thing. He's put himself a tree between us, so I don't know, we'll see. Just be careful out there, people. It's a rough world. But hey guys, thanks for coming along with us today. We are just into March by a couple of days, and we are well on our way of getting out of winter. So we want to thank you guys for coming along with us. We appreciate all you guys. We've gained a couple new subscribers this week. For us, it's not about the numbers, it's about the good people. And I don't care if it's 2 or 200,000. As long as we all get together and have fun, that's all that matters. So I want to thank you guys for coming out. I think we answered the question of the Bean Blossom mystery, the Bean Blossom Lake. I think we've gotten to the bottom of it and gotten our answers. So this will be the last damn video on the Bean Blossom Lake. So thanks for coming out with us. We're going to head out of here and go get home and get some chores done. So once again, thanks for watching.